Good morning. Welcome to your stretch, lengthen, and release. So, hopefully, um, with all the technology that's been going on this morning, that we can calm down, clear our minds, and focus on just opening up our body, which is my favorite part of this class. So, we will need a strap, and we'll start by lying down flat on our mat and just tune in slowly to our breath and welcome our body to this nice space, calmness, and awareness. Make sure you bring your strap with you. And just allow your feet to fan open. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath. Allow the chest to open and expand. Hands rest down by your side body. And just tune in once more to your breathing, to your body, into the space right here on your mat. And as we calm and center ourselves, begin to set an intention for our practice this morning or wherever you are tuning in. Maybe there's something that resonated with you in Manifestation March that you want to continue to carry with you this week. Maybe there's something new. And as always, whatever it may be, let it fill you from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Let it be something that you can draw on throughout your class. So maybe it's one word, a phrase, a feeling, a vision, anything that resonates and connects you deeper in. We'll honor this with 3 more breaths. And with this intention, we'll take some movement. On our inhale, take our hands back behind us, point our toes to the front of the mat, deep, long body stretch. And on your exhale, hug your knees into your chest, bring your forehead to your knees. Lower that head down, inhale, and from here we'll rock this side to side, just gently massaging our sacrum, our lower back. Gaze in the opposite direction of those knees. Gentle spine articulation. And one more each side. Making sure you're nice and even. We'll come back through center, inhale. And exhale, drop the heels down. We'll lengthen our right leg long from here. Take our strap, place it on the ball of the left foot, and lengthen the left leg up to the ceiling. Just gently beginning to open up the back of the left leg. Allowing that lactic acid to travel down the leg. Work with your breathing. Every exhale, letting everything go that doesn't serve you. And slowly allowing your left leg to melt into this stretch, melt into this release. And let's open up our inner thigh next. On your next inhale, slowly allow the left leg to begin to open up to that left side. Relaxing the toes. Slowly allowing that left leg to melt. You'll feel a nice long stretch on the inner groin, inner thigh. Maybe even to the knee. If you have blocks, you can rest your left leg on the block, either underneath the knee or the ankle or both. Taking some pressure off the joints. And if you're anything like me, just a gentle reminder to relax those glutes. Allow the left leg to melt open a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. We'll take a gentle bend into this left knee, slowly guide it back up to center. So for this next one, we have 2 options, and we've done both in class before. Either keeping a nice straight left leg, we'll take it over to the right side on the exhale, or you can move into a supine twist with our bent left knee and then take a traditional supine twist. Just as a reminder, if we are lengthening the leg, we're beginning to open more on the IT band from the knee to the hip flexor, and even a nice little stretch through the glutes. If we're taking a traditional supine twist, we're mostly working more through the spine and twisting in the mid-thoracics, the middle of the back. A little less opening of the leg, but you'll still get a little bit of that glute opening, not so much in the hamstring and outer hip. So depending on what your body is craving most, you can find those 2 postures that best suit you. Explore both. Sink into one and hold. My room setup has decided for me otherwise. I think the lengthening leg and the outer hip feels like it would be good too. Again, listening to your body most importantly. And 2 more breaths. On your inhale, slowly guide that left leg back to center. Roll onto your back. Readjust if you need. We'll take 3 breaths with our left leg straight above, just in case we have any extra tension that wants to melt down the leg. Letting it out with that last exhale. And we'll slowly bend the left knee back into center and place it on our mat. Allow that right leg to follow. Just take a moment here. You can tap the toes and we'll lengthen the left leg long. Take this series on the right side. Take the strap to the ball of the right foot, and on your inhale, lengthen that right leg long, choking on the strap so you don't have upper body tension, but you're still allowing that right leg to open, and release from the heel to the hip. Since this first part of our series is slower and holding, this is a great opportunity to really center yourself on your breathing. Whether you're working on box breathing, you're working on lengthening the exhales, focusing on just tuning into your breath and listening with gentleness, with kindness. The beautiful thing about yoga is there's so many different types of breathing exercises we can do. So while we're in more of a stillness-based practice, it's nice to come back to our breath. Two more breaths. And on your next inhale, begin to open up this right leg to the right side of the room, allowing that inner thigh to relax and lengthen. If you feel as though this right leg is opening up too far, too fast, you can take a block underneath the foot, knee, or both to allow the earth to be a little bit higher until the inner thigh releases breath by breath. 2 more breaths here. And on a slow inhale, take a gentle bend into that right knee first. Allow yourself to guide it back to center. And again, remember there's 2 different ways we can move into this next stretch. With a nice straight right leg, we can bring that right leg across our body. Again, focus a little bit of the hamstring, outer hip, knee to hip in the IT band, or traditionally take a bend in our right knee and cross it over for a supine twist. Working more in the back, and then subtly stretching through the glute. Just like the other side, you can explore both. Hold one, stretch for a few breaths, and then switch, or sink into one over the other a little bit deeper. Draw the mind back, illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, buried right where you're at. Two more breaths in our twist. And coming out of this slowly on our next inhale, slowly begin to unravel, bring that right knee back to center. Lengthen that right leg up towards the ceiling first as you adjust. Make sure both hips are firmly rested on your mats. Then we'll take a gentle bend in this right knee, slowly remove the strap, plant the foot down by the sit bones, allow the left toes to join. Sit bones towards the heels, knee facing the ceiling. And we'll just flow, just activating the glutes, making sure we make our practice a little bit safer, so we are able to sink deeper into some stretches of our lower back and hamstrings. Rooting down in the heels, we'll take a bridge posture on our inhale, lifting up the hips first. You can flow the arms back if you like, arching deeper into that low back, gauging the glutes, squeezing the inner thighs. And next, exhale, lower down. Bring the heels or knees to center, forehead to knees. Finish that exhale. And we'll make this into a flow. On our inhale, slowly drop the heels. As we do, lift up the hips, take the hands back behind. And exhale, lower the sit bones, bring the knees in, curl it through. And flow with your breath one last time. Inhale, drops the heels. Lengthen that inhale, open up into your bridge. And exhale, lower, round the spine. Stretch through the glutes and the neck. And we'll slowly lower the heels down. From here, we'll rise into a comfortable sit. If that's rocking forward or rolling to a side of your choice before you press yourself up, just make sure you don't become dizzy. Rising up to that comfortable sit, roll those shoulder blades back and away. We'll open up the back of your neck, tucking the chin to your chest. Exhale. On our inhale, take your hands high, gather the energy in the room. We'll move into a twist. On our exhale, right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, find length, exhale, twist. From here, we're focusing on the space between our spine and our shoulder blades. So we're really pressing that right hand into the left knee as we take a little bit of a twist. Breathing into the shoulder, breathing into that space. Lengthening on the every inhale, exhale, deepening into the twist, even if it's a millimeter of growth, a millimeter of change. And inhale, unravel, take the arms back high. From here, I'll move to the other side. On your exhale, left hand, right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist. Again, the focus is opening through the space between the spine and the shoulder blade. It's really pressing that hand into our knee and then adding that twist. Working with your breath as you do. For me, every inhale is finding length, lifting through the chest. And then exhale, twisting, looking further beyond that shoulder as best I can. And inhale, slowly lift the arms high. On our exhale, expand those arms out to the side. Rest them down to our mat. Roll those shoulder blades back for 3. And we'll go into those neck stretches one more time, but this time adding the side to side. On our exhale, tuck our chin to your chest. Let your head hang heavy. Moving to the side on your inhale, take your left ear, left shoulder. Left hand can rest on top of the head. Right fingertips can walk out to the side or palm facing away, thumb down, sweeping it to the low back. And exhale, tuck chin to your chest. Release your hands down by your side. We'll take this on the other side. On your inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Right hand can rest on top of the head. Left fingertips can walk out to the outside or palm facing away, thumb down, sweep it back to your low back. This puts our shoulder back into our neutral position, adding more lengthened space between the shoulder and the ear. And exhale, roll through center, release the hands down by your side. Inhale, add the arms high one last time. On our exhale, we'll roll into our box. Shoulders stack over the wrists, hips over knees. We'll move into our hip circles as always. Just give a little bit of chance to those outer hips to loosen. So leaning towards one hip of your choice. Sit bones down to the heels. Create some nice big circles. I don't always offer this, but you can roll forward into a cobra or up dog to release the core, a little bit of the groin, and then continue to flow through your circles. Oftentimes when we have tight hamstrings, it could be a pelvic tilt that's causing our hamstrings to shorten. And so sometimes lengthening the front of the body as a nice little balance, not just the hamstrings where we feel the irritation, the pain, the tension, but also balancing with the front of the body openings. That can also add to releasing some stress and tension. And of course our low back too. So one more circle in this direction. When we come back up to that neutral spine, we'll gently switch directions. Releasing that outer top of the hip, the low back. Again, you can roll forward into your up dog or cobra, hanging there. Maybe look over one shoulder and then the other before you continue through those circles. As we feel some tension and tightness in our body, it's always nice to explore where it's coming from. As I mentioned, having tight hamstrings could be a link to our calves, our low back, even the front of our body, creating some shortness depending on where our pelvis is tilting. Is it tilting forward or back? Kind of exploring other parts of our body as we feel this tension can help us learn where it's coming from and how to release it, and maybe some patterns throughout the week, the day, that contribute to these areas of tension. And one more circle in this direction. Once we complete it, coming back to that neutral spine, roll right into your cat-cows, making sure you follow your breath. Every inhale opens up that heart into your cow, and every exhale, curling the spine in and up into your cat. And continue to flow with your breath.
Sometimes there's things a man cannot know. The gears won't turn and the leaves won't grow. There's no place to run and no gasoline. Engine won't turn and the train won't leave.
From here, we'll take 2 more complete breaths. And once you're nice and even, coming back to that neutral spine, we'll thread the needle here. On your inhale, lift your right arm high. On your exhale, weave it through and under the left. As you do, you can drop those sit bones towards the heels. Reach that left arm forward, getting a nice stretch on the outside of your shoulders. Again, pulling the shoulder blades apart Oftentimes our body craves that as a nice stretch to release tension in our upper back and our shoulders.
There is a truth and it's on our side. Dawn is coming, open your eyes. Look into the sun as a new day's rise. Now we're waiting for you tonight. You're here forever and you're by my side. I've been waiting all my life. Can feel your heart as it's keeping time.
And on your next inhale, take your left hand towards your right elbow, press in to your mat with your left. So slowly unwind your right arm. You can swim this forward just to loosen up if you'd like to take a little bit of a mobility. Nice big sweeping circles with your right hand. Forward for 3, backwards for 3. And once you're nice and even, firmly planting back onto your mat. Into your box, and we'll take this thread the needle on the other side whenever you're ready. Inhale, lift that left arm high. On your exhale, weave it through and under the right. As you reach that right arm forward, drop down to the left shoulder.
There's a rhythm and rush these days, where the lines don't move and the colors don't fade. Leaves you empty with nothing but dreams, in a world gone shallow, in a world gone mean. But there is a truth and it's on our side.
On your next inhale, take your right hand to the left elbow, press into your mat through the right, unravel the left. Again, you can take some nice big mobility circles if that feels good to you. Always try to go for 3 forward, then 3 back. Coming back to our box. Once you're nice and even and stable there, we'll curl our toes. If you'd like to add a little bit of a toe stand, you can grab a block if you'd like to have a seat on the block between the sit bones and heels. You can also just come to kneeling or a comfortable sit. Roll those shoulder blades back and away. Since we did lengthen and pull the shoulder blades away, I want to focus on this next posture, a little bit of a counter posture to open up the front of the chest. So oftentimes when we're feeling a lot of tension in our shoulders and upper back, if you're anything like me, the shoulders are rounding forward, the head is forward. Obviously, this is very exaggerated, and this is where we live. And so there's a lot of tension and tightness in the back, but we are lengthening and weakening our shoulders. So reminding to pull them back, open up the chest. We'll take a little bit of a bind here, simultaneously opening up our feet if you are taking this variation to help unwind and unbind that fascia that's also maybe making our lower back, hamstrings, glutes tight as well. So from here, you can take a bind, interlacing your fingers at your sacrum, pulling those bounded hands down. You can also take your reverse prayer. If neither of these feel great to your shoulders, you can also grab the opposite elbows, or just simply focusing on rounding the shoulders back, pulling that chest open. You can also drop that head just to encourage that chest opening. We'll take 3 breaths here with whatever variation of your arms that you have chosen.
I'ma take my time. It's gonna take discipline, believe me, but I'ma make my life so beautiful and easy. I want a simple life, I want a life that's easy.
And if you have a bind, releasing those hands, give your arms a nice little shake. We'll take our arms back towards their box position, untuck the toes, give their toes a nice little tap, roll out the ankles, anything you need, making some noise. Allow that vibration to break up any adhesions. Throw out the ankles every which way. Rather than taking a flow from our box, we'll focus on having a seat and stretching out that way. So first we'll start with our Paschimottanasana. Nice little beginning posture just to see where our hamstrings are. Inhale, take our hands high. On our exhale, fold peace fingers to those big toes. Keep that chest and thigh connection first, and then as you get warm, begin to walk those heels forward. We are rounding and pulling our shoulder blades apart. So for this next one, as we lift up, inhale, lift up to that seat, give your legs a nice little shake, roll those shoulder blades back, begin to engage those muscles. And we'll cradle in our right foot, bottom of the foot to the inside of the elbow, knee to same elbow. You're welcome to shake this out side to side, allow that glute to open. So from here, we'll be taking our half cow face again to open up the hamstring, so the left leg. From here, cross that right ankle towards the outer left hip. Make sure we can get the knee stacked on knee. It's okay if that knee is lifted, or even if you have a more of a figure four situation. Most importantly, we're just gonna bring that chest forward. For a lot of us, collapsing straight down and over may not feel super great because we are really intensely stretching out the back of our left knee and our hamstring, and our mobility might not allow us to lie and collapse over this leg. So even just bringing that chin closer to the toes, we should feel the stretch. Also flex those left toes. Three breaths. On your inhale, slowly lift up. Even if there's very little change there, allow that blood flow to come back to those left toes, and then slowly unravel and lengthen that right leg to meet the left. Give it a nice little shake. Maybe you'll notice just a hair that your left leg is a bit longer than your right. So from here, we'll cradle in this left leg. Give it a nice little shake again. Allow that hip and glute to open even more. And from here, we'll cross this left leg to the outside. Slowly drop the left knee. Again, even if the knees aren't perfectly aligned, just laying this leg on top, or even a nice figure four might feel a little bit better to you. And once you're nice and stable with the lower body, open up that chest, roll those shoulder blades back and away, and then slowly begin to lean forward, nose towards those flexed right toes, opening up the back of this right leg, calf, and hamstring. 2 more breaths. And on a slow inhale, slowly lift your chest back to neutral. If you're anything like me, that wasn't a huge change. Slowly allow that blood flow to come back to those right toes. We'll unravel the left, give your legs a nice little shake. And so many places to explore, but I do want to open up the front of our body first as a nice little counter for those hamstrings. So we'll lean over to the right leg and bring this left leg back behind us for our half heroes posture. Option to stay here. If this feels good, you can lower down to the forearms. And I always cue this, but I actually like to have the top of my foot down on the mat for some. Turning it out to the side might feel better for their level of ankle mobility, but most importantly, we want to pull this left knee down to our mat as we pull our front body back. So we want to elongate the space between the top of our hip and our knee. If this feels good, you're welcome to lower all the way down to your back. Take the arms back behind you. And again, focus on the length between the front of the knee and the top of the hip. So even though you're coming backwards with your front body, don't want to keep that knee lifted because that is shortening the quad. And just really quickly as a nice little counter, if that doesn't feel super great, you can just come into your box and bend your left heel to open up that quad. You can also come into a lizard and create that opening as well. So if half heroes doesn't feel good to you, your lower back or your quad, there's a few different ways you can stretch. You can also lay on your belly, and the same thing is happening. You are bringing that heel to your sit bones. If you're laying on your belly, in order to do that, you can use your strap as well. We have explored that posture before, so just trust your muscle memory to explore those other 3 options if your half heroes doesn't feel super great in your practice today. We'll take 3 breaths. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly press ourselves up. Extend that left leg long, give it a nice little shake. If you're in your box, you can take some circles, anything that feels good. And we'll move to our half heroes on their right leg. So leaning and shifting towards that left hip, swinging that right leg around. Again, top of the foot or toes point out. Slowly to your ability, depending on how this right leg opens, you can lower down to those forearms just to remind you so you can see what it looks like on this right side. Another option is from your box, just gently bending that right heel, bringing it in. This is a nice little baby option. Begin to warm up that quad first. Another option is that crooked monkey, so you can take your lizard, then pull that right leg, adds a little bit more opening and depth into your right quad. Another option is lowering down to your mat. You can bring your strap into this and pull your right heel towards your right sit bones. So you can see what that looks like on the right side. Depending on what you choose, we'll hold for 3 more breaths. Just a little bonus breath here, just so we can match the other side. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to press yourself up. Unravel that right leg. Allow it to match the left. Give it a nice little shake. And we'll actually meet on our bellies. So crossing our ankles, rolling through our box, lowering all the way down. Take our hands, stack our forearms, rest our forehead so our nose isn't digging into the mat. Taking a breath here. Shake this side to side just to loosen up those hips. Make sure they're nice and relaxed and quads melt into your mat. With your third eye center pressing into your forearms, come back to your intention. Come back to what you set in to focus on in the beginning of this practice. Before we close out our practice, just want to end with a little bit of a shoulder back, upper back strengthening movement. So from here, resting our forehead into our mat, take our hands down by our side. Palms facing down, thumbs facing out, away from our hips. From here, we'll lift our arms, roll our shoulder blades back, engaging our back. Option to lift the head, tucking the chin as well. You should feel the back engage. We'll hold for 2, 1, and release down. We'll take that 2 more times, lifting up our head, adding those Superman arms, shoulder blades pull back and away, lifting up the chest a little bit further. Holding for 2. And last one, lower down, relax. And one more time, lifting up the arms, lifting up the head if you choose, tucking the chin to your chest. Rolling the shoulder blades back. You can feel that that lifts the chest a little bit higher for 2, 1. Lowering down, we'll take our hands, elbows underneath. Our shoulders will rise up, lifting the chest, pressing the belly down. Shoulder blades roll back and away, opening up that chest again. This last posture, all about reminding our shoulders of the neutral position, where they belong throughout the day. We often lose that connection and that muscle memory. And we'll lower the chest down, hands underneath the shoulders. We'll press ourselves up and into a comfortable sit to close out our practice there. If it feels better for you, you can also lie down flat on your back to close out our practice. But since we added some more movement and stretching towards the end and not truly lying down in our Shavasana, it's nice just to take a moment into our seated meditation to close out our practice. We'll take 3 breaths here, connecting once more, one last time to our intention and to our breath. And we'll go ahead and close out our practice. Inhale, taking our hands high. On our exhale, bring our prayer hands down through our third eye center, down to our heart, a place of love and connection. Thank you so much for joining me through, even despite the technology issues. It was so great to see your faces in the beginning. I did go over to give you the full 50 minutes, so if you do have some place to go, no worries to get up safely and slowly. But from here, this place of love and connection, thank you again for joining me. It was an honor to guide you through your class. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. The light within me honors, acknowledges, and celebrates the beautiful divine light in all of you. Namaste.
Thanks, Jordan.